Sorry. Good evening, everybody. Well, I don't think anybody on yet. I think people studying for other things. And I mean, well, Kerwin did he walk through, Keen did he walk through, G did he walk through. So I just say, let me throw my hat in the ring and do a thing. All right. It's a girl Alicia. All right. Home for super mathematicians, boy. I like that name. All right. So, folks, I'll just give a minute or two to let some people jump in the live there. But yeah, so hey Jovi, how you doing? Good to see you on. Kiki boy. Right. So first things first, we gotta hydrate. Right. Chrissy, what's going on? All right. So gaming with Mel. Why was I? Paper was bad. All right. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I just had some dinner and I was a little Flemish. Feel that. Why were you? All right. So I didn't want to see this. Hey, Selena, how you doing? C6YDI. If you don't want to see it, then I mean, I'm happy you're here. If you want to stay, but by all means, you're welcome. I mean, if you have things to study for, maybe that's a better idea. But okay, paper was easy, neat. All right, well, cool. No problem. Nikolai vibes. Yeah. So, folks, Christian, going on Christian. So my objective here is to actually finish this as quickly as possible because, yeah, I'll finish about 4:30. If you saw me for the 5 minutes I was on Kerwin Live earlier, I was with my younger son Marley. Yeah, he's up early sometimes. So I take the bounce so my wife could get a little more sleep, you know. And he got a nap. I did not. Yeah, Nikolai, how are you? Tired. But alive, I had a headache earlier too. I take a little Panadol, so that gone. I don't know if it's a headache, I don't know if it's an eye ache, I don't know if it's sinus, what kind of thing. Anyhow, but alive and kicking. So, I know I was supposed to stream on Instagram too. Anyway, and those 0, 4, and 4V. Neat. Oh, you done start already. All right, well, why not? There we go. All right, so ladies and gents, you know what situation here. Randy. I don't know, Randy. The examining body never releases the grade bands. The pass mark could be, I mean, Kerwin was mentioning this earlier. You were saying in situations where the paper 2 leaked and they had to cancel the paper, and everybody and the dog have paper 1 solutions. 90 something could be, early 90s could be a 3, and high 90s, like 99 and up, could be a 1, right? Big rat. I'm not sure to be honest. All right, with that, let's just start now because it's 6:49 here. I want to take about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours on this if so long. All right. It's not just to speed through for the sake of speeding through, but kind of my bed calling me. All right, and sometimes my wife might call me. So if I see me on the phone as the boss lady. Okay, so the first thing. Oh, let me get a pen. Let me get a point. Yeah. All right. So write the following numbers correct to 1. Wait, what's going on there? Beavers. Come on, man. Don't do that. Behave yourself. Okay, cool. So let me move that back across there. Right. All right, cool. Zoom in, everything onto that right here. This sometimes it cooperates, sometimes it doesn't. Right. So one significant figure means you want one and only one non-zero digit. Right? So if you kind of run your cutoff point there. Now, the number next to the 3 is a 6. What's the rule? If it's 5 or higher, you have to round up. So the answer here would actually be 0.4. And then 3.94. So again, that's your cutoff point now. But the number next to the 3 is a 9. So again, you have to round up. So that's 4. Right? You don't have to put 0.0. Oh, Mikey. Yeah. Right. Does he say give 1 mark for formula? Jane, it depends. But I don't think they give a whole mark for it. They might be lucky if they get a half mark. All right, cool. Now, hence. So when you see the word hence, what they usually want you to do is to use whatever you got before in the working now. Okay? So if you didn't do that, then, I mean, how many marks? 1 mark? Then you might get the half because, I mean, they have to correct something if they did it correctly. All right? So basically what they wanted you to do here was to replace the 0.367 with the 0.4. So you have 1,000 multiplied by 0.4, the square root of same in the numerator, and then they wanted you to replace 3.94 with 4 in the denominator, right? So 1,000 by 0.4, so you'll shift that decimal point 3 spaces to the right, sorry. That'll give you 400 all over 4. The square root of 400, sorry, is 20, and 20 over 4 is 5. All right, or again, you can plug it into your calculator and get the answer, and you should be okay. Right, now it said the integer value, right? Integer means whole number. I had one of my form 4 advanced students today. Yeah, I need to revise what integers are. I'm like, it's a whole number. That's all, it's a whole number, right? Okay, moving on now. Aiden, Brooke, and Caden, boy, share berries in a ratio 3 to 2 to 5 respectively. Aiden receives 12 more berries than Brooke. Calculate the total number of berries shared. Okay, cool. Now you have different ways you could go about doing this, right? All right, Nate, I'll check you back to start trying to focus on your work, right? But I want to answer your questions when I can. Okay, so check. So how my brain works with this, right, is clearly Aiden is the 3, Brooke is the 2, and Caden is the 5, right? So it says Aiden receives 12 more berries than Brooke. And if you look at Aiden's number, Aiden is a 3 compared to Brooke's 2. So if you think about it, 3 is kind of 1 more than 2. So to me, the extra 1 that Aiden has is the 12. I hope that making sense, right? Again, I don't think most people explain it this way, but I could be wrong. I do listen to many other people, to be honest, right? So how I would do it, right? So Aiden to Brooke is a 3 to 2 ratio by itself, right? And Aiden gets, so Aiden, if you think about it, is 3 pieces, right? And Brooke is 2 pieces. And Aiden gets 12 more. So Aiden only really has 1 more piece than does Brooke, right? So to me, that's the 12. So to me, all of these pieces are 12. All right? And it means, therefore, with Caden, and Caden gets 5. So Caden gets 5, 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 12s, right? Everywhere. 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. So 3 12s are 36. 2 12s are 24. And of course, 5 12s are 60. 36 and 24 is 60, and 60 plus 60 is 120. And that's the total number of berries shared. And if you want to cross-check it, because again, doing it that way is a little different. Hey, Sumai, how you doing? Liana. Okay, I'll try to remember that name going forward. All right, cool. Anybody else on that side? No? Okay, no problem. Right, so again, with ratios, what do we do with the numbers? You add the numbers in the ratio together. 3 plus 2 is 5, and then 5 plus 5 is 10. So it's a 3/10, 2/10, and then 5/10 split. So if we just cross-check it, so 3/10 of 120, so the zeros cancel, and 3 by 12 is 36, right? That was for Aiden. 2/10 of 120, again, the zeros cancel, and then 2 by 12 is 24. I do. People asking what percentage you're gonna get. I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I honestly do. But the examining body has never indicated anything about grade bands or what percentages equated to what grades in any year. They do not, although Cambridge does, and they are fond of saying that they are better than Cambridge, but I guess in certain ways of which we are not sure. Anyhow. Right, so that's how you could cross-check it, right? Okay, cool. One part C now. All right, in a sale, all prices are reduced by 15%. Blake buys a book, right, which had an original price of $16.40. Calculate how much he pays for the book. Okay, so you have a couple different ways you could work this, right? So what is if you reduce a price, it means the price is going to be lower, right? And if they reduce by 15%, basically what you have to do is find 15% of the original price and subtract it, right? So one way to work it is to take the 1640 and minus 15% of 1640, right? So that's 10%. So that's 1.64 and 82. 1.64 and 82 is 2.46, I think. Please correct my, if anybody online have a calculator. I mean, I have one, right? Yeah. Some of them, yeah. Every exam, in my opinion, should be a nice mix, or at least a mix of easy, medium, and not so medium. Sometimes they might get a hard question in the mix, right? How much I say was again? Oh, I forget already. All right, so 10% is 164. So that's 246, right? So minus $2.46. Okay, so if it was 240, you go straight to 14, and then 14 minus 6 cents is 13.94. All right, 13.94. Now, of course, another way to work it, and I'll put this in a different color so it doesn't get too monotonous visually, right? Is the original price as a percentage of itself is 100%. And if you reduce the price by 15%, you're left with 85%. So all we really have to do is find 85% of the 1640. Now, of course, you are allowed to use a calculator, so, make your life easy. Mine don't want to come up clearly. So 0.85 by 16.4, 1394. Right, cool. All right, lovely. Or Aurora Pooks. I like that name. Right, no, they wouldn't. Jaden, is all right. I know everybody had different opinions, That's all right. Don't frighten. Don't feel a hole. The exam done gone. Now, it says here, Jude pays $27.20 for a toy. Calculate the original price of the toy. Okay, so check it. We just saw from above, right, that the $27.20 was after the reduction, which means this is 85%. All right, so this is the 85% of the original price of the, let's just call it OP for original price, right? And that's equal to 27.20. So, of course, the of we understand as a multiply. So think about it. To find the original price, you'd have to basically shift this across to the next side. How is it attached? What operation is involved there? Multiplication. To shift something to the next side, what do we have to do? Use the opposite operation. What is the opposite or inverse of multiplication? That's division. So, of course, if you divide by 85% on the left-hand side, it'll cancel the 85%, leaving us with original price. And, of course, whatever happens on one side of an equation must happen on the next side. And 85%, as you know, is 0.85. It's 85 over 100, right? No, sorry, the class leaving. Illinois, right? All right, you going? Yeah. Taking a little brush through. All right. Okay, I'll see you not tomorrow, Thursday. All right, cool. Good luck tomorrow. Oh, yeah, studying for Thursday. Right. Okay, bye. All right. So the hardest part was statistics. I will take a look. We'll get there. I never know. It might stump me. Sometimes the brains don't really click as well as they used to. Fatigue is a hell of a thing. Folks, don't play with your sleep. Honestly, don't play with your sleep. All right? But yeah. Is it Reggie or Reggie Johnson? All right, that's it for question 1. Let's take a look at question 2. So that took me about 15 minutes. Serious? Wow, that time is flying. Algebra. All right, one of my favorite aspects of the CSEC POA. CSEC maths. Give me POA. So given that A is equal to P minus Q over 2R, find the value of A when P is equal to 2, Q is equal to minus 1, and R is equal to 1. So 2 minus 1 becomes 2 plus 1, which is 3, and 2 by 1 is just 2. So you could do it as 3 over 2, 1.5, 1.5, anything along those lines. Express Q in terms of A, P, and R. So A is equal to P minus Q over 2R, right? Right, and you want to solve for the value, you want to make Q the subject. Yeah. All right, so first things first, you're going to clear out that denominator by multiplying throughout the equation by the denominator. So you'll get 2R by A. When you multiply on the right-hand side, it clears out the denominator. And of course, whatever happens on one side of an equation must happen on the next side. All right, cool. So then we have P minus Q. So then basically what we could do is we could kind of swap those two items. All right, what I mean by that is you could add Q to both sides of the equation first. So you have 2RA, or A by 2R, however, so plus Q equal to P, and then you want to bring across the 2RA It's attached by addition, so we're going to subtract 2RA. So P minus 2RA. Yeah, that's it, 2 marks. All right, cool. 2 part B. Oh yes, they love doing this. They bring in geometry and quadratics. Where was that before the exam, right here? A2R, J. Yeah, A2R, 2RA. Don't matter. What mean the same thing. There's a multiplication which is commutative, right? So the sequence in which the multiplication takes place doesn't matter. It's like 2 by 3 by 4 is the same as 3 by 2 by 4, or 3 by 4 by 2. Right, and the triangle EFG, shown below, EG. So EG, let's get some colors going to make things easier to see, right? So EG is this horizontal line. Oh, that way kind of heavy. All right, EG is 2x plus 3. All right, and what? Hold on. The perpendicular height from F to EG is x plus 5. Okay. Show that the area of the given that the area of the triangle is, sorry, my bad, 50 square centimeters. Show that 2x squared plus 13x minus 85 is equal to 0. Okay, so what did they tell us to do? Show that the area of the triangle is equal to that. What is the area of the triangle? Base by height over 2. So the base is 2x plus 3. The height is x plus 5, base by perpendicular height, all over 2, and we know that is equal to 50. Right, so that is your starting point. The first thing I would do is multiply by 2 to clear out the denominator from the left-hand side. So when I multiply by 2, it will clear out here, and of course when I multiply to the right, I'm going to get 100, yeah? So when I expand using the distributive law, 2x by x is 2x squared, 2x by 5 is 10x, then we'll do the 3. 3 by x and 3 by 5 will give us 3x and 15 respectively. And of course, when you simplify now, you'll get 2x squared. 10x and 3x is 13x. And now with the 100, you could subtract the 100 from both sides because they want it equal to 0, right? So when you quote unquote bring it across, you have to subtract it. And then what will we be left with? 15 minus 100 is minus 85. Right. Okay. Find the value of x, giving your answer correct to 2 decimal places. Show all working. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that since they wanted correct to 2 decimal places, that we're gonna have to use the quadratic formula, right? So that means that we're gonna need the value of a, the value of b, and the value of c. So the formula is x is equal to minus b plus or minus. You're gonna do 2 of it. All right, so minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4 by a by c. You got what time tomorrow? Okay, that should be good. Yeah. All right, it's up. Okay, sorry, let's see another teacher out. Fairly difficult. Reasonable. It has stuff for this. If it did recent past papers from 2020 come forward, you would have seen stuff like this. Just not the same sheets, but the same concepts, you know? All right, so minus b, so that's minus 13 plus or minus the square root of what? 13 squared minus 4 by 2 by minus 85, boy. What? Some big numbers. Biggish, right? 2 by 2. Okay, cool. So minus 13 is just minus 13, right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, you can plug all this stuff in your calculator and just, like as I say, plug and play. I like to show working a little bit more, right? So what are your thoughts on the paper? Smiley, are going through it now? All right. So I'll reserve comments and stuff for the end if I have time. And a bit of a time in it. Right. So 13 squared is 169. We know a minus by a minus is a plus. So 4 by 2 is 8. 8 by 8 is 640 plus 680. Again, if my math is off, please feel free to let me know. Yeah. So people saying people do. Alyssa, every year they say that, and very, very, very rarely does that ever happen. Right? Yeah. So don't buy into the hype. Unless you see something on the news, an official news channel or something from CXC, and now everybody is a professional AI image generator. So don't believe the hype. Just focus on doing whatever lies in front of you. All right. Yeah, all this. I opened ChatGPT earlier and it told me, hey, you've unlocked a new something. I've unlocked. Okay. So 680 and once, well, actually it's 849, right? 849. Does that have a flat square root? Sorry. I guess we're gonna find out now. Right now, the value of x has to be positive because we're dealing with length, right? And its length cannot be negative, at least not for CSEC math. How y'all get so quickly? I know it's not. I know it's not. It appeared, and I was like, I was just grateful, like, oh, lovely, we got the thing. Right, so 849 square roots, yeah, 29 point something. We'll minus the 13 there and then divide that by 4. So we get about 4, right? 4 no, okay. Look at that, they asked for 2 decimal places, right? Yeah. Yeah, so 4.03. Right, correct. 2 decimal places. All right, cool. Okay. All right. Oh, and the algebra done already. All right, not bad. Skip the question. Okay. Goodbye, UE and Form 6. Hello, selling cotton candy by Piaco intersection. Sealed. So why use that compared to the other AC method? Reggie, because it couldn't factorize. 2 by minus 85 is minus 170. I don't think that there are any factors of minus 170 that will give us 13, but I could be wrong. But based on the fact that we got decimal points here, yeah, it probably couldn't factorize. Because remember, those 2 values, when you actually do your brackets, those 2 values are the constants in the brackets. All right? Okay, cool. Anybody else? Keen, Mr. Sarasa, good evening. How you doing? Yeah, I see you run through the list. I see you run through it, Rajiv run through it. Cool. I was on Kevin. I'm doing it now. Overall, I took a little brochure earlier. It was a decent exam. My only complaint is they left out circle geometry for a second exam in a row, and I feel like they over-indexing on transformations. Apart from that, I think the exam was doable. But again, as Carolee, it's hard for me to separate my abilities and experience from that of the students to give an opinion. So like I just tell it from my perspective, you know. But I feel like students who prepared should have been able to handle it. You know? Yeah. What about you? Yeah, structure. Yeah. Because this question should have had the transformations, right? All right, let me take a look and see what's going on here now, right? So in the diagram below, JKL is a straight line. So JKL, so let me get some colors going there so we could visualize a little better, right? So JKL, right, is a straight line. Yeah, man, Keen. Same to you, all right? All the best to you and your students for the rest of the season. The cookie question. Not yet. I'll go in order. Hendrix. Kathleen. I'll struggle for. Well, I'm glad to hear you had a good opinion of it. All right. JMK is a right angle. Okay, so we're going to put on a nice little bright green now. All right. Boom. JMK is a right angle triangle. Okay. And the line segment JM. Okay, let me go in order now. So JM. Yeah, is parallel to KQ. Cake. Right, so parallel lines, and of course they have the transversal cutting them there. So hold on, what I didn't use yet? Well, let me use a yellow now. Yellow's a nice color. So that little blue, yellow, orange are giving you a setup for well, that's parallel lines gives opportunity a scope to use. Sorry, my brain. I want to say F and Z angles. Also corresponding, which is the F angles, and alternating, which is the Z angles. So this one, right? So you'll have a 90 here as well, right? If you follow your kind of Z, kind of straightish, kind of Z kind of thing, kind of going on. So right. Okay, what do I want? So JK is 12, MK is 8. MK. Anybody see Mortal Kombat 2 yet? Alright, I went to see Devil Wears Prada 2 for Mother's Day. Yeah, it's a nice little thing. And Michael, I like Michael boy. Michael was a nice movie. Alright. Determine sine V. Okay, cool. So in the right angle triangle, we have scope to use basic ratios such as sine, cosine, and tangent, right? We know that the ratio for sine of whatever the angle is the ratio of the length opposite the angle to the hypotenuse, right? So again, most people have a little trouble figuring out how to find opposite. This is my little advice. See where the angle is? You see the vertex behind the angle? Just draw a straight line through that. Whatever side it hit, that's the opposite side. That's the opposite, right? And then for the hypotenuse is always opposite the right angle. So again, through the vertex there, that is the hype. Right, so sine V is equal to 8 over 12, and you could simplify that to 2/3. Again, it's just one mark, right? So it can't be so bad. Next, the length JM. So JM is the blue length. And we could use, what we could use that way? We could use, that's, so relative to V, that side is, oops, that point have way too much weight on it, there way. Yeah, that side is the adjacent side. So you could, I mean, but we do have the angle. Okay, well, we do have a choice, but to use Pythagoras here. So with Pythagoras, so Pythagoras theorem tells us that the square on the hypotenuse is the sum of the squares on the other two adjacent sides. So if you use the letters here, right, so jk squared would be equal to jm squared plus mk squared. So if you're looking for jm, you would have to kind of, as I say, carry that across the equal sign, or as I prefer to say, subtract mk from both sides of the equation. So you have jk squared minus mk squared is equal to jm squared. Okay, cool. Right? The length of jm would therefore be the square root of that, right? Mr. Sue. Oh, sorry, I was supposed to. Right. Okay. So we have 12 squared minus 8 squared. And again, this is 2 marks. Just plug it up in your calculator to be honest, right? But if you're like me and like a little extra thing, you'll notice that this is the difference of 2 squares, right? 12 squared minus 8 squared. So let me just say, I mean, the exam done gone. So, I mean, this is just hypothetical. You do have a calculator. So we know a squared minus b squared is a plus b multiplied by a minus b, right? 12 and 8 is 20. 12 minus 8 is 4. So we have square root of 8a, which is pretty close to 9, right? But, I mean, there's a standing instruction on the paper for those who don't know, right? All right, it says, hold on, let me highlight it in yellow. What, yellow? Right, oh, look at that, yeah. Right, numerical answers that are non-exact should be given correct to 3 significant figures, or 1 decimal place for angles in degrees, unless a different level of accuracy is specified in the question, right? Okay, so, okay, I would love to say 9, or approximately 9, so let me just see. So, how much it was? It was 80. So 8.94? Yeah, all right, so yeah, 8.94. Oops, sorry, I still in the highlighter, my bad. All right, sorry. I'm not tired, I do craziness sometimes. 8.94 centimeters, again, to 3 significant figures, right? 2 marks, okay, cool, not bad. 3 part B, angle MKL. All right, lost me there. Nickel, what would the difference? We'll just plug it in the calculator. So the calculator, so 12 squared minus 8, so 144 minus 64 is 80. Right, that's the easier way to do it, to be honest. So I'll just kind of show you off a little bit. Chicken and inverted pesto, right? And cheese. All right, cool. MKL would be this angle here. Okay. So we could find an angle. I mean, you could find the sine inverse at 2/3, add it to 90, and then subtract from 180 because the sum of the angles in a triangle is 180 degrees, right? Alternatively, if you prefer, I mean, you could put in your 8.94 across here. Right, now relative to this angle, this side is actually opposite, and this side is adjacent. Right, again, opposite and adjacent are contextual. As a matter of fact, cosine means the sine of the complementary angle. So when you're finding that the cosine of an angle, you're actually finding the sine of the other angle. So the cosine of this angle is the sine of this one. And then vice versa, the cosine here is the sine of this angle. So technically speaking, cosine do actually exist. So I know I'm going to get some flack for that, but anyhow. Right, you follow? Okay, cool. I'm glad, Nickel. Right. Anyhow, don't worry about that. That's just me. Sorry. It's me apparently coughing. All right. What I was saying. Okay, cool. So if you want to do it, again, using cosine. So this is the adjacent side there. That's the hypotenuse. So you could use cos. All right. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, right? So cosine of the angle, which I'll let equal to theta, right? Equal theta, right? is equal to 8 over 12. Therefore, theta is equal to the cos inverse of the 8 over 12, or 2/3, it don't matter, because you'll get the same value anyway. Sorry, them brackets looking real obzocky and thing. Sorry, go ahead. Brushing it down. So 8 divided by 12 is 2/3, 0.667 cos, right? So 48.2. They said, hold on, what does it say on the front again? 1 decimal place for angles in degrees. Okay, so that would definitely, oh, sorry, on the back here, right? So, what is the calculator gone? Hey, come back. Come back, Jack. Right. So 48.2. Okay. So 48.2 degrees. Nice. All right, cool, lovely. We're going again. Construct a, okay, well, it's difficult for me to do constructions where I don't have the tools, but I'll give you an approximation, right? Okay, a trapezium, WXYZ, in which WX is 9, XY is 5, and YZ is 3. So we do have WZ. We have W to X, X to Y, Y to Z. So we're missing this length here. All right, so that's W, that's X, that's Y, and that's Z, right? So so the angle WXY is 60 degrees, right? Now this one is interesting. WX is parallel to YZ. WX is parallel to YZ, right? Which means that, yeah, we gotta construct a parallel line here, boy. Interesting. All right. So, all right, look, I'm just gonna give you some pointers here. I'm not gonna do the whole thing because again, I love constructions. Because I can't do them properly with all the tools, it don't really make sense to do them, if you understand what I'm saying. Right? Okay. So first things first, draw your baseline, right? So draw a line. Open your compass. Sorry. Mash up the circle. Yeah, boy. Circle didn't come. Okay, cool. Ow, my elbow. Right. So when you draw your line, don't draw it exactly 9 centimeters. Draw it, open your compass to 9 centimeters, put your point somewhere here, cut an arc, put your point there, cut an arc there. That's your WX, right? And that's 9 centimeters. And please keep in your construction arcs, right? I like to say no arcs, no marks. No arcs, no marks, right? Now we want a 60-degree angle at X, right? So to go from W to X to Y is 60 degrees. Okay, cool. So what we had to do is, I'm gonna get a slightly different color on this one, right? Yeah, right. So where you want the 60-degree angle, put your compass point there. I'm gonna get a green. I think green might sound a little better on this one, right? Yeah, put your compass point there. What you're then gonna do is you're gonna open it to a length. Now, again, to open it to 9, 5 centimeters is fine, 4 is a little tight, 6 is decent, right? But I mean, out of a 9 centimeter line, between 4 and 5 should be good. That's half the length, right? So you're gonna cut an arc, right? And then you're gonna place your compass point where the arc cuts the baseline, and you're gonna cut an arc there. Right? So you're gonna cut an arc on your arc. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna draw a line through the X, where you want the angle to be formed, and the point of intersection of the two arcs. And again, just draw it far, draw it long. Now that's XY. XY is 5. So you go back to your pencil and your compass. And again, keep one pencil for your compass and one for everything else. Don't take it out every time you draw something, you know. And don't try and draw with it. Please, you go stab yourself. Right? Don't do that. We don't need tetanus doing a maths exam. Right. So you open to 5 centimeters and you cut an arc there, and then that's Y, right? So that's 5 centimeters. Right. Okay, next. So that's WX. I have that. XY. I have that. I have a 60-degree angle here. Cool. Right? And then it says that, all right, so Y is Z. So to go from Y to Z, right, is 3 centimeters. Right? And then WX and YZ are parallel. So really and truly, I mean, you could use your set squares and stuff if you know how to, like, the people, right? Hey, Falak, how you doing, man? Oh, miss, I'm not sure. I try not to insult anybody. I apologize. Right. So the way I saw to do this item here, so what I would do is I'll put my compass point. So let me get a different color, right? I'll put my compass point here, and I would open like a straight line to there. Don't draw it, right? Open the compass straight, right? Reason is, right? What I would then do is I would put the compass point here and draw an arc like that. Then I'll go a little further and draw a next arc, go a little further and draw a next arc. And basically what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to kind of, hold on, I'll just shift that down a little bit. Yeah, ideally this is supposed to be right. So when you do that now, basically you put in your ruler to the top of those 3 lines, right? And you're starting from Y, and you're drawing a straight line, just kind of kissing the tops of those arcs. And it's not going to come out perfect, right? Oh, no, hold on. That's all, right? Right. And then what you would do, again, since YZ is 3 centimeters, you open your compass point to 3 centimeters, right? You cut an arc, and then that's Z. And then you just close it up. Boom. Right. So that's my approximation. Right? 8/12. Yeah, 8/12. Yeah, cool. That's from the previous part of the question. Okay, cool. That's 3 part B. I think that's the end of the question there. All right, just take a take a sip of water, and we go again. So about half an hour for 3 questions. Not bad. All right, cool. Let me go and see what I go on in question 4. Question 4. Coordinate geometry, boy. Coordinates of A and B are -3 and -4 and 2, 6 respectively. All right, cool. For the line segment AB, find the midpoint. Hello? Huh? What if they made 2/3 a number and did the rest? You're talking about it for the triangles in the previous part, Nate? I'm not entirely sure what you mean by make it a number and then do the rest, but depending on what you mean, it might work. But I'm not sure if you can explain in the chat. Right, but let me see, right? Okay, so if you want your formula, right, so that's the average of the x coordinates and the average of the y coordinates. Right, so you have x1, x2. So -3 plus 2 all over 2. Sorry, one sec. And then -4 plus 6 all over 2. Rita, Murad, shark puppet. We're going, right? Heavy hand on the shark. All right, cool. Baby shark, do. -3 plus 2 is -1. So we have -1/2. -4 plus 6 is 2. And 2 over 2 is 1. Right, so that's your midpoint. Now the gradient, right? So that's equal to the difference, the change in y. So y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. So y2 minus y1. So 6 minus -4 all over x2 minus x1. So 2 minus -3. So when you minus a minus, it becomes a plus. Sorry, one second. Let me see if I can make that a little neater. Oh, I didn't ask for an arrow, but thanks anyway. Cool, right, so 6 plus 4 is 10, 2 plus 3 is 5, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. Okay, lovely. So from there, what do we have? They want the equation of the perpendicular bisector. All right, so the perpendicular bisector is a straight line that cuts through the midpoint of a line segment at 90 degrees. That's what perpendicular means, passes through at 90 degrees, right? Now, a perpendicular bisector is a straight line. And one equation we could use that we like to use is y equal to mx plus c, where m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept. Now, the coordinates that we're going to use, we just want was it was -1/2 and 1, right? Yeah, -1/2 and 1. We have to use that because it's the perpendicular bisector. The bisect means to cut in half, means it is passing through the midpoint. Now the gradient, so there's a property about mutually perpendicular lines, right? the product of their gradients is -1. And what that means is if you have one gradient, so hold on. So let's say you have gradient 1 and gradient 2, and you're multiplying again -1. We know, therefore, that those two lines are mutually perpendicular. And let's say you wanted to find gradient 2. We would, of course, just divide by gradient 1 on both sides of the equation. And what would end up happening is it basically, okay, anyhow, let me do the thing, right? So what was the value? It was 2, right? Yeah, it was 2. So all we have to do is put -1/2. So -1/2. Okay, cool. So we're going to use this as the gradient. That's the x and that's the y. Let's substitute. So 1 is equal to -1/2 by -1/2 plus c, right? A minus by a minus is a plus, a half by a half is a quarter. You'll subtract the 1/4 from both sides of the equation to find the value of c, which turns out to be 3/4. So your equation is y is equal to -1/2 x plus 3/4, which is fine. If you're feeling fancy, what you can do is you can multiply throughout the equation by the LCM, which is 4. So you end up with 4y equal to -2x plus 3. And again, you could carry everything to one side. When you carry across -2x, it becomes positive. When you carry across +3, it becomes -3, 0. This is sufficient. This is extra, right? Okay. Another point. This one was interesting. I have never seen them ask this anywhere except in the vectors part, right? Another point, z has coordinates -5, -8. Show that points A, B, and Z are collinear. When points are collinear, it means they lie on the same straight line. And all it means is, in order to show that they're collinear, you could find the equation of the line and show that all 3 points, if you plug their coordinates into the equation holds. Or you can just find the gradients, right? So let's say you had point A, point B, and let's say Z was somewhere in the middle, right? So if the points are collinear, to me, the easy way to do it is to find the gradient, right? So you could find one gradient, you could find 2. 1 is sufficient, 2 is extra, right? Okay, cool. So gradient of AB, right, from the previous part of the question was just 2, right? And we use A and B, right? Right, so A, what was A's coordinates again? It was -3, -4, and then 2, 6, right? So that's one more time, right? 4, and then 2, 6, right? 2, 6. Right, so check what to do. You could simply use, okay, let's use both, right? So y2 minus y1, so that's -4 minus 8 all over x2 minus x1, so -3 minus -5. Okay, -4 minus -8 becomes -4 plus 8, -4 plus 8 is 4. And then -3 minus -5 becomes -3 plus 5. -3 plus 5 is 2. And 4 over 2 is 2. Aha! All right. We're cooking with gas, boy. All right. And then if you wanted to use the coordinates, let's say of, what should we call it? B instead. Right. So y2 minus y1. So 6 minus -8. 6 minus -8. Don't worry with the dots. That's just me putting bullet points. You don't have to put at all. Over 2 minus -5. So 6 minus -8 becomes 6 plus 8, which is 14. 2 minus -5 becomes 2 plus 5, which is 7. And 14 divided by 7 is 2. Nice. Okay, cool. So that's it for question 4. Really? That's it? Oh, okay. Hey, the statistics, boy, the part that you also giving trouble. All right, let me see if it give me some trouble too. My eyes and starting to get a little tired there, boy. So guys, I don't know if I can finish this paper, you know. Anyhow, you put your hand to the plow. You can't take it off. Right, the frequency table below shows the number of goals scored in a series of football matches. We have an unknown value here. If the mean number of goals scored is 2.2, determine the value of k. Okay, so when you have frequency distributions, to find the mean, you have to multiply the goals scored and the number of matches, right, the corresponding numbers. And you add up those products and then you divide by how many matches there were, right? So to me, the goals is the x variable. and the frequency is the number of matches in which that many goals were scored. Many goals was scored. English was last week. Anyhow, okay, cool. So what we're gonna do, we'll take right. So 0 by 3 plus 1 by 10 plus 2 by k plus 3 by 15. So you put 12. No worries. You sigma x over t. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Right, cool. Sorry, I was just checking the chat to see what the chat's saying. In the ghetto, party in the ghetto. Sorry. Song from my youth, the late 1900s, when dinosaurs roamed the earth and these things. Yes, before electricity. I'm talking trash, don't worry. Right, and then we have to divide that by the sum of the frequencies, right? Which is 3 plus 10 plus k plus 15 plus 4 plus 3, and it's equal to 2.2 by the way, right? Because they told us that that's the mean, right? So let's see if we could simplify, right? Let's just save some. So 0 by anything is 0, 1 by anything is anything, and then you have 2k, 3 by 15 is 45, 45, 16, and then 15, right? 3 and 10 is 13, 13 and 15 is 28, 28 and 7 is 35. So the denominator becomes k plus 35. All right. So this is equal to k plus 35. What did I say was the numerator? Did I add the numerator already? 45 and 15 is 60 plus 10 is 70 plus 16 is 86. So you have 86 plus, 2k plus 86. Let's stay consistent in the presentation. Not necessary, right? That's equal to 2.2. Okay, so what we do here now, we'll multiply throughout by the denominator to clear it out. So 2.2 by k plus 35. All right, so we have to simplify and solve now, right? 2.2 by k is just 2.2k. 2.2 by 35. 2.2 by 35 is 70. 0.2 by 35 is 7. So that's 77. Okay, cool. Let's bring the algebra there and the non-algebra on that side by subtraction. So we'll subtract 77 from both sides, and then we'll also sorry, 1 second. Yeah, we'll also subtract 2k from both sides as well. 86 minus 77 is 9. 2.2k minus 2k is just 0.2k. 9 divided by 0.2. Okay, I think I made a mistake somewhere. Same as an actual chart, but okay, cool. Well, go on. Hey, what vibes? You good? Yeah. Yeah, okay, so from here now, sorry about the line. Okay, I'll check my arithmetic. So clearly, the number of matches has to be an integer. And to solve for it, we'd have to divide by the 0.2. But 9 divided by 0.2 is the same as, oh no, that's 90 over 2. Okay, so that's 45. 45, right. Sorry. With Peter Griffin, please exit the building. Right, so 9 divided by 0.2. Yeah, 9 divided by a fifth is 9 by 5. 45. Okay, cool. So k is 45. All right, so the number of matches, therefore, is 80 matches. Okay. All right, so that's that one. 5b. Okay, okay, we shift already. Teacher Joy recorded the time taken for the 60 students in her math club to complete a 12-piece puzzle. The CF graph below shows information regarding the time it takes the 6. Okay, cool. So 20 seconds was the minimum time. So we didn't start at 0, but we also didn't break the axis, all right? And 100 seconds. Okay. So use the CF curve to determine the probability that a student chosen at random will take at least 42 seconds to complete the puzzle. Okay. So if we go on the y-axis, we notice that between each of the 10s here, yeah, you have exactly 10 grid lines, 10 little spaces. So each little space is a 1. So 42 would be here. Sorry about the crooked line. And then we're going to read down along that minor grid line. Now between 6 10 it is 20. And if you have 10 spaces accounting for 20, that's two per space. So that's actually 62. What does that mean? What do they ask us? Determine the probability that a student chosen at random will take at least 42 minutes to come. So 42, at least 42 means 42 or more. All right. So out of a, no, sorry. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, 42 or more. I read from the wrong side. 42 would be here. My bad. Sorry, guys. And when you read across, you get 15. So that's just 15 over 60. All right, which is a quarter or 0.25 or 25%. Now, you don't have to show all of these. You just have to show one. One is sufficient. Right, sorry. Best of luck, people. It's a couple of years ago. Okay, cool. Shadra? Okay. Sorry, Jimmy. My apologies. Hold on. Right. Determine the semi-interquartile range of the time taken by the 60 students. Okay, so semi-interquartile range means you need the upper quartile minus the lower quartile and divided by 2. All right. So they have 60 students, right? So for the lower quartile, that's 1/4 by 6 is the 15th student, the 15th reading, and then for the upper quartile, I need the 3/4, the 75th percentile, right? I'm writing so bad also. That's the 45th percent. Okay, so I need the 15th and then the 45th. Let's stick with the blue. So the 15th person is the same 42. Okay, so that's 42. Yeah, so 42. Interesting. Right, and that makes sense because it's 25th percentile. Oh, wow. It didn't even click. Nice. All right, and then for the other one, that's the 75th percentile. That's the, what we said, 45? Yeah, okay. So across from here, wow. And then read down. So that's 64. Okay. All right, so 64 minus 42. Oh, sorry. All right, so that's 64. Cool. So 64 minus 42 is 22, and 22 divided by 2 is 11. I'm going to check that again. 64. 22 and 42 is 64, right? And then 22 divided by 2 is 11. Yeah, okay. Right. 75%. Okay, maybe I read it the wrong way. Determine the probability the student choosing a round takes at least 42 seconds. At least 42 means 42 or more. No, you're correct. Yeah, wow. My brain wasn't braining that way. Yeah, 42 or more means, yeah. Means everybody from go up. Okay. No, wait, just now. At least 42 seconds. When we found 42 and read up to the graph, that's from the 15th person, right? If it's from the 15th person, it means you have to count the 15th person because the 15th person took 42 seconds, right? And if they say at least 42 means 42 or more, right? So the first one I did was definitely wrong, right? I did at most 42, right? That's where you took from up to 42, but no more than 42. That's not what they're asking. At least 42 means 42 or more. So if the 15th person took 42 seconds, it means from the 15th to the 60th person would be at least 40. That's how many people took at least 42, right? Seconds. And from 15 to 60 is 46. Right? So from 15 to 60 is 46. Right? And that's 23 over 30. Yeah. So neat, yeah. 43 marks in total. I don't know. It depends on how everybody else do. So I can't tell you, but that sounds decent. 43 marks out of what, 50 or 100? It depends on how you're counting them 43. Yeah, guys. Okay, cool. Well, I guess when I'm a little more awake, I'll take a second run of the paper. At least 42, yeah. Okay, but thanks, Nate, right? Richie done 20%. Oh, you're answering about the SBA. Okay, sorry. I thought the 20% to do with this, right? And then 5B parts, so complete the table. Okay. All right, so for this, we have to go back to the CF, and they did this before. Eh? We have to go back to the CF curve, and we have to kind of cut it up and subtract. So how you find accounts was today, Rajiv? I didn't check the paper, but my students said it was a good paper. So I was quite happy for that. Yeah, unit 2. Yeah, they said the paper came good this round. Okay, so 13, 30.5, and then, okay. So 21 to 40, right? The frequency for that. So let's just check the graph real quick, right? So 21 to 40, that's the interval, right? So 20.5, so that's kind of here, 20.5 to 40.5. Sorry, I need to zoom in. And use a color that is not the same as you want to have before. Whoops. Stop what you're doing, man. Right. Yeah, so you'll notice it does look like it's actually at the 20 mark. It's supposed to be at 20.5 because it's group data, right? So you're supposed to use the lower class boundary and the upper class boundary. And the upper class boundary is 40.5. Now the halfway point is 41 because between here and here is 2. So we gotta find a half and then a half of that. So that's about there. No, they said 13. Okay, hold on. This now. No, okay. You know what? We had to go with how they're doing it. Right. Alex, I didn't touch your question. Yeah, I hear you. So they said 13, right? So 21 to 40 is just now, sorry. Take out this time, I'm inactive. I'm not entirely sure why, but okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. So it doesn't look like they use the boundaries. It's just like it looks like they use the actual limits. Okay. Will the graph please come back? Right. Because 13 is here. And it hits the curve right. It hits it right on the 40. All right. So that's 13. Okay. All right. So let's just do what they did, right? We won't use the upper class boundaries. We will use the limits, right? So, and then 30.5, by the way, right? So the midpoint is the upper class boundary plus the lower class boundary divided by 2. So for is it? Actually, you can just add these and divide by 2. Because if you take away a half and you add a half there, a half minus a half and plus a half will cancel to 0. So 41 and 20 is 61. 61 divided by 2 is 30 and a half. All right, and it just went up in 20. It's just at the class intervals. All right, okay. All right, so 41 to 60. So we go back to the graph. We're going to find the 60. If the graph would render, that would be great. Thanks very much. Ooh, it's kind of high. All right. We're going to read up until we hit it about there. You all think it's there or you all think it's below? Because that's at 39.5. I feel like it's 39. I feel like they wouldn't give it 39.5. Hold on. I'll try that again. Here, what I'm going to do. That's the line there? Yeah. But maybe it hit on the top here. And then it read down. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's passing exactly to that point. In which case, that would be the 40. I need to put in my lines. 1 second. Okay. 13 and 40, and then 61. Now, we don't even need, because we know it's 60 people, right? So 13 and 40 will be 43. 43 and 3 is 46. It means this should be 14, right? No. That's the CF. Let's do 14 minus the 13. And that's 27. Okay. Now 13 and 27 is 40. 40 and 3 is 43. So this last batch here should be 17. Wow. Yeah, boy. Yeah, you see when you're lacking sleep? That's a bad thing. All right. Yeah, sorry. Let me explain that, right? So from 13 to 40, that's 27 people. So it's not 40. 40 is not the frequency for that, but that's the CF of both of these. 13 and 27 is 40, right? Now, if this goes now from 40 to 57 at the 80 mark, we know we're right. 40 to 57. Let me go again. All right, cool. That's the 80 mark. All right. Let's see. And the 80 boy. This still look, that's 55. 50. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. All right. It's just a little above, to be honest. Yeah, and to go from 40 to 57 is 17. Yeah. And then, of course, from 57 to 60 is just 3. And that's how they got the last one. So 13 and 27 is 40. 17 and 3 is 20. And 40 and 20 is 60. All right, cool. So we did get the thing. So I sent a message. Yeah, I'll check. I saw it come through, but I was in the middle of this now, so I didn't check it just yet. Sorry about that. But yeah, when I get a chance. Nate boy, that's an understatement. Right. What you chat? Sorry, Kathleen. So look, yeah, boy. Mm-hmm. Right. Yes. Kathleen, I seen you. Sorry. Yes. My bad. You see, I do have an audio notification for the chat. Wait, hold on. I wonder if I go on YouTube. Come on a sec. I'm not urban the shirt. Urban my shirt. Live control room? No, wait, what am I doing? Yeah, let me go there. Yeah, nah, just don't have an audio thing either. Connect your encoder to, yeah. Don't know how to use. Yeah, okay, cool. Soft chat, no. Live chat, only chat. Yeah, boy, need. I'm pressuring that up since 4:30. All right, yeah, sorry. So let me just multiply. So always multiply 27 by 50.5. Okay, normally I do this mentally, but let me not try and play hero, right? 27 by 50.5. Now 27 by 50 will be 2700 divided by 1350. 1350 and 13.5 is 1363.5. Yeah, right. So 1363.5. Right. And then 17 by 70.5, boy. I could do this one. 170 by 7. 700, 1190. 1198.5. Right. Yeah, there you go. Right. And that's all we had to do. We didn't have to calculate anything else thereafter. We didn't have to find the mean. It's to complete the table. All right. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, that's it for the stats question. It wasn't that bad, but it was a little tricky. So yeah, all right. Hold on, what is this notification? Engage with your audience. What how to do? Hey, start a Q&A, start a poll. I could ask all the things, but what? I don't do this more often. Okay, can I put it down? No? Okay. How's yours? Oh, close. Close, yeah. To close it, I'm gonna have to multiply. Yeah. Are you a real teach? Super radical plushies. What do I have to do to qualify to be a real teacher? I'm not sure I understand the question. I joined the teacher service in 2003. I left in 2008, but I've been teaching ever since on my own. So I'm not employed by the Ministry of Education. So if that means I'm not a real teacher, well, so be it. I'm cool with that. I don't need that validation to do what I do, but I understand what you're saying. You want somebody who you could trust. All for that. All right. Okay, a recipe for making 20 bite-sized. What's in the SCA question they're bringing forward here? Right. Okay. Hey, give yourself. You and gravity have problems, right? A recipe, a recipe for making 20 bite-sized cookies uses 175 grams of flour, 125 grams of butter, and 75 grams of sugar. Right in its simplest form, the ratio of flour to butter to sugar. Well, that's okay. Divide by 25. 25 is the highest common factor here, right? So 175 divided by 25 is 7. 125 divided by 25 is 5. And 75 divided by 7 is 3. Right? So divide by 25. Highest common factor. Aha. Right, this question. Yeah, boy, Smiley. You did this? All right, cool. Well, I never know any it. Somebody put, yeah, boy, one of my students in my previous classroom. Determine the amount of flour, butter, and sugar needed to make 52 such cookies. Okay. So what we would do is you take, okay, so let me say it was 40. 40 is 2 times 20. How we know that? 40 divided by 20 is 2, all right? So you would double each of these. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take the 52 and put it over 20 and multiply it by the 175. Hold on, what did I ask for? The amount of flour, butter, and sugar. Flour, butter, and sugar, right. Sorry. Yeah, so multiply by 175, 125, and 75. Okay, cool. That's 2.6, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, so 2.6 by 175 is 455. So 455. Oh, okay, here, 455. Right. 2.6 by 125. Nope. 325. That's the butter, yes? That's double, right? 2.6, 150 and 40 something, 3/5. 150 and 45, okay, 195. 75 by 2.6. Yeah, 195. Cool. Okay, not bad. Right. 18.6. Yes, that was. So 455 grams. So you should, right? Okay, yeah. 117. Oh, you going to the next part? I wrote 326. Oh, wow. Ah! Okay, well, luckily I wrote 325 down here. And that's what that's what they would mark, right? Okay, cool. All right, your guest. Hey, Mr. Bali, good evening, sir. All the best. All right, what I was doing again, sorry, yeah. A bed caller, man. So I'm trying to finish this fast. All right, so we're on question. All right, the cookies are made and sold in packs of 12. A bag of flour contains 12.6 kilograms of flour, boy. Using this information, complete the statements below. Show all working. 1 bag of flour makes a maximum of something packs of cookies. The amount of flour left over is something grams. Okay, cool. So first things first, let's change 12.65 kgs. Sorry about the writing, guys. To grams. So we multiply by 1,000, so you get 12,650 grams. Okay, so the cookies are made and sold in packs of 12. All right, cool. So to make 20 bite-sized cookies. Okay, so you see like how we put the 52 over the 20 here? We'll just put the 12. The 12 over the 20. And then multiply by this. All right, so 12 over 20 by 125. So that's how much of the 125 you'll need to make the 12 cookies. That's 0.6, right? 0.6 by that is for 39. Nope, 0.6 by that is not 139. Where I got that from? 39? No, it's 75. Yeah, for real. Wow. So 75 grams of flour gives us 1 pack of 12 cookies. Okay, cool. Right. Katniss in 170. No. Nate, you're not dumb. Don't say them things. Is that SCA question? Why they bring in an SCA question in a CXC paper? Are they trying to be nice? No, right? And this should be in consumer arithmetic. This should not be. What's question? N6 supposed to be stats? No, 6 is measurement. Okay. Okay, I guess you're measuring. All right, it's conversions. All right. But it's never bring this here. There's always bring like something with geometry, like cylinders and cones and other such things. Running around. The paper was all over the place in a sense to me. Yeah, okay. All right. But I mean, it was one part, but it's essay. So honestly, guys, like right now, I'm not even sure what the next step to do is because my brain not braining right now. But it's a good example because sometimes when you hit a sticking point and you reach a point, you need to be able to figure out how to get your next point. So you have to follow your logic, right? It's logic. It's logic, right? People like to say common sense. No, here, common sense is contextual, right? If you go in the Amazon rainforest, you're not going to know how to survive. People who live there do, right? Common sense is contextual, all right? And if you weren't taught how to do something in any way, shape, or form, how are you going to know how to do it? It's just going to occur to you? I don't know. I mean, if you give a 1-year-old a hammer, he might know how to use it. Not properly, not with a nail, but he'll definitely bang up his xylophone. You know. All right, cool. Sorry, I need some water just to catch my bearings because I run out of steam here, and I thought I could do the whole paper. I will try. As I also had a lock up by about 8:30. Across the 1 hour mark, so I'm averaging a little more than 10 minutes a question. All right, not bad. Okay, so the cookies are made on certain packs of 12. Okay, cool. So how much flour do I need for a pack? I need 75 grams for 1 pack. Okay, so if I have 12,650 grams. Okay, so if this is how much flour I have, and this is how many grams I have, and this is how many grams I need per pack. So you see, you take a little reset and it just occurred to you, right? 12,650 divided by 75. So 168. I got 168. Got 117. All right. Right. So this will give me what it was 168 and 2/3, right? So 168 and 2/3 packs. Packs, not kilograms, Christopher. All right. So let me just double check what I did, right? 12,650 divided by 75. 12, I'll do it again. 12,650 divided by 75. Yeah, I got 168. I didn't get 117, sorry. Yeah. Why did you get 117? Did I divide wrong? Check your calculator. All right. So I can make 168 packs, right? So the cookies I made. Okay, sorry. So 1 bag of flour makes 168 packs of cookies. And 2/3, okay, so 2/3 of a pack, right? Accountant and maths backend exam institutes and you're able to success with that. Med school, like you moved to Mars. All right. Jin, let me finish this question first, right? So 2/3 of 12 is equal to 8 cookies. And now I had to see how much flour I have left. How many flours each cookie does use, boy? Previous page. What did it tell us here now? Where do you recite? Right, okay. Hold on. This was question 6. This SCA was Lord, I'm gonna see. Yeah. 7 to 5. Yeah. Ratio. The ratio. Right. Yeah. Wait, what? sorry, 20 bite-sized cookies makes that. Okay, so what is flour, right? So if I take 175 and put it over 20, I find how many grams per cookie, right? So 8 cookies, and then I multiply that by what? 175 over 20. That's 2/5. 5 into that is 35. 35 by 3 is 105. Double check it, Christopher. All right, so minus 168 by 12, right, by 175 divided by 20. What has it? I don't know. Right. 2/5. 5 into that is, yeah, 70. What? Why that? Why that so hard? I mean, if I was cooking, I guess I might have been. Anyhow, yeah. What, 125? Wait, hold on, sorry, what? There's no flour using? What I use? It's flour, right? Yes, flour. 175, yeah. Gin, right? 20, right? Gin on the ball, boy. Why do? I do 125? You sure? Where I do that? I'm not seeing where I do that. Where? I did. Okay, all right. Let me try it again. Okay, so 175 divided by 20, then multiply by 8. I got 70. All right, I don't know. Go up. Oh, I seen it. I seen it here. All right. Okay. So at a reset. Okay, so maybe the 117 might be correct. All right. Okay. Dog. Why are you barking this all the night, boy? Right, 175. Okay, cool. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Thanks for letting me know. 175. Okay, so there you reset there. So 12 over 20 is 0.6, right? So there we go again. 12 over 20 is 0.6 by 175, right? So 105. Okay, cool. So 105 grams of flour. And then I'll take the 12,650 and divide by 105. Okay, cool. Yeah. 12,650 divided by 105. 120 point something. I get 117. 18.75 ingredients makes one cookie. 18.75 of ingredients. Big fan. Yeah, no pros. Why I feeling like I'm swimming in molasses here? Guys, lack of sleep is a hell of a thing. All right, just to double check, because I really had to finish our show fast, right? All right, so 175 divided by 20 is 8.75. That's how much grams of flour in one cookie. I need 12 grams, sorry, I need 12 cookies in a pack. 8.75 by 12 means I'm using 105 grams of flour per one pack of 12. Okay, cool. So now I'm taking the 12,650 divided by 105, yeah? You got 120. Did I get 120? Okay. Yeah, 120 plus, okay, 120.47. Okay, cool. So 120. So 120.476 dot. Right, okay. So we had to change this to 120. Right. Right, and then, right. That's 120 packs, right, okay. So 120, what is that? Packs. What is this 2/3 by 12? What is that? Okay, let me erase that. That just confusing me. So let me just see if I could start back again and figure it out. Right, so this is 120. Beefeth. So 120 packs, right? I know if I 0.476, right? So that's how much, that's how many, right? So multiply that 0.476 is the fraction. So if I multiply that by 12, right? So minus the 120 from that by 12 is 5.7. And that's how many cookies I could make, right? And then I'll multiply that by the 175 over 20. I get exactly 50. Okay. All right. No? Why not do it that way? Okay, 18.75. Guys, I thought about this question earlier. 18, where 18.75? I don't know. Guys, this question is sticking. And I had to go half past it, so go back down. The one before. All right, 50 is correct. Okay, cool. Yeah. Samara, I just did a brief run through. I didn't do any solutions. I didn't have the time. I had the time today to do this one. So, yeah. Wait, what happened there? Hey, there we go. Right, okay, we good? We good? We good? We good? All right, we good. We good. With 32? Hold on, just now, sorry. Somebody asked somebody 32. 32? Huh? Elusive? Was that the stats? I'm not seeing a 32. All right. Anyhow, yeah, I had a kind of, how do you feel about the accounting today? Khalil, I heard it was good. I didn't get a chance to read through it yet. And if my students say it was good, I'll take their word for it. If I review it tonight, right now, as the young people say, I'm crashing out on a simple essay question here. So I had to see if I could finish this paper. Right? But for sure, no, I'm not doing that today. That will happen sometime in June when class is kind of done and before the July August program start. Yeah. Yeah, if you have any cousins or friends in like Form 4, Form 3, you know, let me know. Look out on your socials for that, for when I promote that. So, yeah. POA maths, add maths. I think I have Physics and Bio. Supposed to have English A, English B, Geography, IT, and what she doing again? POB. So just econ, I had to kind of find somebody for any languages, but yeah. Anyhow, all ratios, cash book and budgeting. Oh, need to talk about POE. All right. Yeah, contributed. Yeah, it had some aspects that was a little pressure. I wouldn't lie. If you weren't well versed in, like I was rusty on this one, and I'm tired too. So that question 6 hit me for a little 6 there. Whereas one little mistake I made, my process was correct. I think. Anyway, diagram below shows part of a number chart. The numbers on the chart follow various patterns. Study the patterns. We mean follow various patterns. All of these increasing by 7. They just start at different points. If I'm going down, right? 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42. That's your 7 times tables. Column 2, 9, 6 to 16 to 23 to 30. That's just increasing by 7s, as is this, right? So all of the increases. So what number should be placed in column 1 of row 9, or what row 9 of column 1? Well, that's the 7 times tables. So 7 by 9 would just give us 63. Yeah. Neat. Yeah. There you go, neat. There you go. Right, 89.75. Kathleen. 18.75. We're talking about ingredients in total? Okay. Right. The following diagram represents a given row from the chart described on page 22. fill in the three missing numbers in the above. Okay, so we gotta find where this was in row 2, column 2, sorry. Now, column 2, what you'll notice is you kind of had to add 2 to get to each one here. So basically, it was like if this is n, right, or r, if you want to call it, it's like 7r plus 2, right? So if you come across here, so if we consider that 7 by, let's just call it n, right? Let's say r for row, 7r, and then you add 2 is equal to 653, right? So the first thing I would do is I'd subtract 2 from both sides of the equation. So 7r is equal to 651, and r is equal to 651 divided by 7. So 7 into 65 is 9. That's 63, remainder 2. So, okay, 93. Okay, so r, so that's the 93rd row. 93, boy. Okay, so then this one is just 93 by 7. 93 by 7. 9 by 7 is, so 630 plus 21 is 651. Oh, yeah, it's just a minus 2. Minus 2 go to the left and plus 2 going to the right. Yeah, minus 2 going that way, plus 2 going that way. So then this would be, hey, we're going right. So this is 655. If you want to cross check that one, that's just 7 by this, then plus 4. All right. Okay. Fill in. Okay. Which row would contain the number 942? Explain how you arrived at your number. Okay. So 942 divided by 7. 7 into 9 goes 1 time, remainder 2. So that's 24. 7 into 24 goes 3 times, remainder 3. That's 32. So 7 into that goes 4 times, remainder 4. So that would be in this column, and it would be in the column 134. Sorry, in the row 134. Kathleen 93. Yeah, good. Yeah, there you go. Okay, 2 marks. 2 marks. Cool. 7B now. Okay. So they give you a diagram question, but no diagram to draw. A sequence is formed using diagrams made up of equilateral triangles, each constructed from sticks of unit length. If you have a 134, that's cool. You just get 1 mark. You gotta show how you got it. Yeah, but that should be fine. If it's working, yeah, that's fine. Sorry. First 4 diagrams are shown. Table shows you the relationship among the number of equilateral triangles E, the number of sticks that form each diagram S, and the number of dots. Study the pattern of numbers. Okay, so it's the pattern of odd numbers, each starting at different points, except for the middle one. So the increase here is a plus 2 every time. Plus 2. Oh, hey Sanjeev, where you going? Right. All right, this one is also a plus 2. This one is plus 4 though. Yeah, that's fine. Oh shit. Sorry. My bad. Yeah. Okay. I'll get back to Sanjeev. Right. So complete the row that responds to that. Okay, cool. So long story short, 2n yeah, okay. So the pattern for this is just 2n minus 1. 2 by 1 is 2, and 2 minus 1 is 1. 2 by 2 is 4, 4 minus 1 is 3. 2 by 3 is 6, minus 1 is 5. 2 by 4 is 8, minus 1 is 7. So 2n minus 1. Okay. For this one here, right, so you can do 4n minus 1. No. Basically, you had a kind of, okay, so that would be, is like, you're replacing this with the n plus 1, okay? So that's 2 by n plus 1, then minus 1. So that's 2n plus 2 minus 1, so that's 2n plus 1? It is, it's 2n plus 1, because it's just 2 more. Oh, that's the easy way to see it. 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5. Okay, yeah. So whatever the pattern was here, you just add 1 to it. Add 2. You add 2 to it, sorry, you add 2. And if you just add 2 here, you'll get 2n plus 1. Yeah. Yeah, Kathleen, yeah. This question has an error. Jin. All right, let me see where the error is. All right, hold on. Ada finish, you one in the middle. You one in the middle. All right, by 4 by n minus 1, yeah? So 4 by, so is the change, right? Whatever that is, right? 4 by that. So 4 by 1 is 4, but to get to 3, I had a minus 1. 4 by 2 is 8, minus 1 is 7. 4 by 3 is 12, minus 1 is 11. Yeah, so 4n minus 1. All right, complete the row in the table. Okay, using your answers, but show that the difference between the number of equilateral triangles and the number of dots will always be equal to 2. So number of dots and number of equilateral triangles will always be divisible. Okay, so the difference, right? The number of dots minus the number of equilateral triangles. 2n minus 2n is 0. 1 minus minus 1 is 1 plus 1, which is 2. And 0 plus 2 is 2. So the difference is always 2. And 2 will always be equal to 2. Oh, yeah, there you go. Right, okay, cool. All right. My bad. Yeah, cool. Indian last 24 hours. My brother, I don't know. We're working something else right now. All right, but you can find me on social media, send me a link now. I don't know if I can work any advanced questions right now, to be honest. I'm very sleepy, so probably not. Right. Oh, Jin, okay. Jin, if you see some stuff in the accounts exam from January specifically, I couldn't find too many issues with May, June, quality-wise, from a particular perspective, but we are talking about no measurements yet giving us the formula sheet for area. Yeah, I hear you. No frightened. Yeah, brother man, yeah, let's stop spamming. G is one of the toughest. I wouldn't doubt. It might be nice to train fit. Yeah. All right, cool. Maybe one day. Not right now though. All right. Question 7 done, boy. All right, so we're done with that there. But hold on, what you were saying? The number of equilaterals. So number of sticks is 3, number of dots is 3. Number of sticks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, they have 7. I see. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, okay. I see what you're saying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dots is fine. Sticks is not. Yeah, you're correct. Wow, interesting. Yeah, where am I from? Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. All right, we'll deal with GE next time, right? Okay. All right, question 8. A quadratic function is defined as follows. So 5 plus 4x minus 2x squared, right? Okay, so that's the completed square form. So we know that h has a simple formula. H is equal to b over 2a. Now, they put it in this form here. So we could always rewrite it if you want, but you don't have to. All right, so it's minus. So that's your a, that's your b, that's your c. Right, so b is equal to 4 over 2 by a, which is minus 2. 4 over minus 4 is minus 1. And then, let's change colors now, just to kind of break the visual monotony. Everything in pink. Right, so you could use the 4ac minus the b squared all over 4a, or c minus a by h squared. That might be a little easier, to be honest. Anyhow, so 4 by minus 2 by 5 minus 4 squared all over 4. Right, 4 by minus 2 is minus 8 by 5 is minus 40. Minus 16 all over 4. Right, so that's, sorry, 4 by what? 4 by 2. Wow, 4a. Right, almost forgot that boy. So minus 56 all over 8, which is minus 7. Okay, so my answer, right, so f of x would be equal to a which is minus 2 by x plus 8, which is minus 1, then squared plus k, which is minus 7. Right. So you iterate in the maths? Iterate? I'm not sure what that would mean. Let me know now. All right. A table of values for a Cumulative. Insert. Okay, so all we have to do is substitute the x values into the function and solve, right? So that's 5. 4 by 1 is 4. 1 squared is 1 by minus 2 is minus. 5 and 4 is 9. 9 minus 2 is 7. And then 3, 5, right? 4 by 3 is 12. 3 squared is 9. 9 by 2 is 18. 5 and 7 is minus 1. Okay. And as you can see, the values are symmetrical. So we know that it is a quadratic, and most likely, yeah, well, we know that's, what? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Using a scale of 2 centimeters to represent 1 on the x and 1 on, guys, I finished this graph now. I want to finish the question. So this, I'll beg your indulgence. Brian, it's grace of all time. Yeah, guys. I'll draw that graph and put it up on Instagram or something. Draw up. Okay, I guess I had a drawing graph. Because then I'll leave out this question, so I don't want to leave it out. All right. What's the scale? Right. Minus 2 to 4, okay. And then we're going to go minus 11 up to 7. 2 to 1, and then 1 to 2 on the y. Okay. 1 to 2, 1 to 2, 1 to 2 on the y. Okay, hold on. So we're gonna go up to what? Up to 7, down to minus. So that's 18, right? How many we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. But we are 18. But we can't do a 1 to 1. Rajiv? Nah, boy. Rajiv, I tired. I opened up past 4. Yeah, with my son, he wake up early. He gets a nap. I didn't. Yeah, so try to do this thing sleepy. Not fun, but fun in a way. Yeah, boy. On the with the flour, I want to say flour, rice, and cake, you know. This is flour, sugar, and something else. Yeah. Where that SEA question come from, boy, Rajiv? Or the big up Rajiv Mass Vibes in the chat there, boy. For all the content you give all the other sense I'm not visit for sure. Yeah, cake. Yeah. All right. Okay, and then was the scale on the x-axis? 2 to 1. Okay. All right, cool. So I'm going to go down to minus 11. But it's 1 to 2. But we could have fit all 18. But they wanted the graph to be compact. All right, here we go. 11, 10, 9, 8. I'm breaking the rules. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay. No, we need to go to 7. Yeah, we gotta go to 7, so we can't fit everything. Bug. Why would they do that though? Why wouldn't they give you like something with 20 or 25? And they didn't have space, eh? They had space. What kind of graph? What kind of grid does give you 80? What do you mean 80? 17 now? 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Did I miss anything? Everything is lined up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. So I see what it's saying. So if that's the case, even if I start like there, yeah, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, minus 2, minus 4, minus 6, minus 8, minus 10, minus 12. Yeah, that works, I suppose. Okay, and what values of x we have to go from 4 to minus 2? All right. Yeah, so 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2. Sorry, one sec. I could live with that. Okay, let's get some slightly thick axes going here, right? Let's draw a line like this. God, a little too heavy, boy. I wonder if I could shift them things a little bit, boy. All right. Well, at least there was no crash and bang. So I watch IPL. Brother, I got to ask you to kind of cool off because you're probably annoying to reach that way. Ali, yeah, the POA exam was not that great. Yeah, I got to put in some time on, boy. Can I take a 5? Yeah, can I take a 5? Okay. So what do I think about the POA? Not that great. Next unit 2 accounts. Yeah, next month. Not right now. Yeah, wife will call just now, guys. So I might have to cut this short. Good boy. I couldn't finish this in 2 hours, boy. Well, yeah. All right, so let's plot something. Minus 211. There we go. I'm losing bearings here, boy. Pressure any dance. Minus 211. Let's use a bright color as well. Let's use orange. You want yellow? Let's use a yellow now. All right, so minus 211 would be about here. Okay, now I'm not even seeing that. I'm just gonna stick with the arm. Okay, let's do a purple. Right, so minus 211 will go about there. What's next? Minus 1, minus 105. Minus 1, well, actually, that would pass right through there, and then 0.5 would pass out there. Yeah, those lines are a little too thick, boy. All right, then I have 1725, 3 minus 1. 17 as the maximum point. 25, 3 minus 1, and then it'll be 4 and 11, right? 4 minus 11, sorry. Okay, cool. Okay, let's see if we get a slightly decent looking curve passing through these points. Hold on. That's a little too thick. Let's go down one weight class there. All right, surprisingly not that bad. No balance sheet thing, yeah. Jen, yeah. Okay, wait, who's that? Next. You know, you on TikTok too as is that Jaxie? Okay. Anyhow, okay, and then they wanted where okay, so where it's equal to 3. So just draw an appropriate line and use it to determine estimates of this. Okay, so if it's equal to 3, we need the line y is equal to 3. The line y is equal to 3 is a perfectly horizontal line. What color to use here, boy? I had to use a kind of green here. And let's zoom in. So we need the halfway point here, right? Okay, cool. So the solutions would be x is equal to, hold on, huh? So it was 2 centimeters to 1 unit. So that's a 0.5. So each of these is like 0.1. All right, cool. So if I'm hitting the curve here and I read down, that's 1, 2, 3, that's minus 0.3. So let me write it down first, right? So x is equal to minus 0.3. Why am I sweating? The AC is on 26. That's why. Why is it in 26? Like, why am I sweating in AC? Well, there's a possibility for that too. Anyhow. Right, and then across here, it looks actually just like about 2.5. Okay. All right. We okay with that? Fresh chat. Okay, so 8:30, so I kind of enter overtime here. Yeah, I was aiming for 1.5. Anyhow, so 8 questions in 90 minutes. It's about 11 minutes a question. All right. Right, so they brought transformations here. Again, they bypass circle geometry, I guess hard surgery boy. Diagram below shows the quadrilaterals H, P, and N. Quadrilaterals P and N are the images of H. So H is the original thing, and P and N are two different transformations. So P is a translation, H is a rotation, 90-degree rotation about the origin. Okay, cool. So 9.5. Describe fully the single transformation that maps H onto N. Okay. H to N, right? So that one is a 90-degree anti-clockwise. Yeah. So 90-degree anti-clockwise rotation. So you can say about the origin, or you could say with center 0, 0. And then H onto P, that's a translation. So it's just a shift, right? So we went 1, 2 spaces to the right and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces down. So that's 2 minus 5. Right? So a translation with vector two minus 5. All right. Sorry. 0.4 and 2.4. Oh, let me see. Graph 0.4 and 2.4. You mean minus 0.4, right? Yeah. Okay, that could work. So yeah, if you do it properly, yeah. Partial only points, you'll lose marks. You wouldn't get you might get the full marks, but they make another ones. I mean, I show most of them can draw a straight a flowing smooth curve anyway. Who can? Not many people. Right, which class maths is this, guys? Form 5, Shan. Unit 2. Genoid? Nah, not tonight. Tonight, I should have been sleeping an hour ago. School maths or college? High school. High school, Shan. High school. Right. Right. All right. Where was I? Okay. What they wanted down here? They wanted the matrices. On the grid, draw the image of H after it undergoes. So an enlargement scale factor 2 about the center 0, minus 1, and a reflection in line y equal to minus x. Okay, so 0, minus 1, scale factor 2. Cool, let's go. 0, minus 1 is on the y-axis. All right, so basically you have to draw lines, straight lines through the vertices. Right. So that vertex, so if you know, what you could do, you could actually use like a right angle triangle thing to help you out, right? So you went 2 horizontals and then 4 verticals to get from the center to that vertex. So then you have to use 4 horizontals and 8 verticals, right, to get to where the corresponding vertex would be after the enlargement. So that's here, right? Similarly, this one, you have to go 2 and 2, right? So you have to go there for 4 and 4. And if you draw the line through, you'll get your right angle triangle, right? So that's this point here. This one is you could draw it further, right? So you went 3 and 1, so you have to go 6 and 2. So that's here. And if we last one, we have to go 4 and 2. So then we have to go here again, right? Cool. So then you have to go 8 and 4. So that's here. Okay, cool. So let's put it in a blue. Why not? What? Okay. Oh, that little extra piece of line confused me there. That one. Yeah, there you go. Cool. Right. So what is supposed to label that one? Sorry. Label it M. Okay, cool. So M. Okay, and then a reflection in the line. What is it? Y is equal to minus X is the next thing they want, right? Label this L. All right. Y equal to minus X. So basically what you would do, you would swap the X and Y coordinates, and then you would just change the signs. Yeah, okay. So we could do that. Or we could draw the line Y equal to minus X. So maybe we should do that instead. Just for the sake of the sake, you know? Right. So now we had to count how many perpendicular units each vertex is away from. Hold on, did I draw that line correctly? It's a little off. So that's why, oh, it didn't straighten out. Oh, that's why. Okay. Are things looking better now, Christopher? No, they're not. Maybe that's another line. Okay, I can make this work. All right, so each, what color to use here? White, purple, orange. There's orange, no? Right. So we have to go perpendicularly. So this, you need one diagonal and a half and one. So we need that point there. Okay, cool. Right, and then the other diagonal will be 1, 2 and a half. So then we need a half and 1 and 2 behind it. So then that, yeah, the other one is here. A diagonal behind that one. Cool. Right. This one is 1 and a half. So we need a half and 1. So that one is here. Oops. Okay, well, that's fine. And then the last one is 1 and 2, right? So therefore we need a half and then 1, 2. So right here. Okay, cool. Okay. Let me just close it up. Who wanted an arrow? I did not ask for an arrow. Didn't ask for an arrow. Didn't ask for an arrow. Right, cool. This is the same size. They have 2 of those, 1 of those, and then 1, and then 1. So why am I looking so much smaller? Yeah, okay, cool. Or again, if you know this is 2, 1, so you need minus 1, 2, so minus 1, minus 2, right? This one is 3, 0, so you need 0, minus 3, which is here. This one is 4, 1, so you need minus 1, minus 4. And then this last one here, no, I did all? Yeah, I did all, okay, cool. No, and this one is 2, 3, so you need minus 3, minus 2, yeah. Okay, uh-huh. Oh, yeah, sorry, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Sean, yeah, from Trinidad, the Caribbean, basically. Right, okay, so I think I'm done with 9 part B. Okay, yeah. 9 part C. Oh, yeah, this one was actually kind of easy. Well, when I looked at it. The diagram below shows 3 pillars, L, M, and N, that are located on level ground. MN is 12 kilometers, LN is 15. L is due west. L is due west of N, so that has a bearing of 270 degrees. Right? And it means N is due east, right? And the bearing of M from N is, so the whole angle here is 291, and the outside piece here is 270. So the angle MNL is equal to 291 minus 270, which is 21 degrees. All right, and then the length of LM, that's just a straight cosine rule, right? So that's 21 degrees. Right. Hey, give yourself. All right, so that's 12 squared plus 15 squared minus 2 by 12 by 15 cosine 21. All right, plug and play, as I say. Right, 12 squared plus 15 squared minus, open brackets, 2 by 12 by 15 by 21 cosine. So 32.9. Just double check that, please. 12 squared, 15 squared. 2 by 12 by 15 by the cosine of 21. Right, that's 32.9. All right. The length of LM will be the square root of the 32.9, which is about, was that 5 and something? It's not even 6. 5.7. They said 3 significant figures, so 5.74. Right, so 5.74 kilometres. Right. The seconds for 11th, well, keep us for 12. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And you keep us easy. Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. That might be your opinion, you know, but not everybody might agree. All right, okay. So, well, question 9 finished pretty quickly. I just vexed I had no circle geometry. 10a. Okay, we have vectors now. Diagram below shows a scalene triangle, so no equal sides, no equal angles, right? With vectors, OP is U, so OP is given by vector U, or the vector along OP is U, all right? The vector along OQ is 2V. The point T is positioned on the line such that PT to TQ is 3 to 2. So again, if you add the numbers, you get 5, so it's a 3/5, 2/5. So this piece here is 3/5 of the whole line, and this piece here is 2/5 of the whole line. Okay, cool. Do you have a simplified expression in terms of U and V for PQ? So to go from P to Q, we could only travel along the lines for which we have vectors, which means we could only travel along these two lines. To go from P to Q, I have to go first from P to O and then O to Q. So start with that statement. PQ is equal to PO plus OQ. PO, now the vector here goes from O to P, so that's OP. The inverse, right, to go from P to O, that's going backwards along the vectors, along the line, so you have to invert the vector, sorry. All right. So that's going to be minus U plus 2V, or 2V minus U. Either one is perfectly fine. And then they want OT. Right, so for OT, you want to go from O to T. All right, so we could go from O to P and then P to T. That might make the most sense, right? So that's O to P and then P to T. So OP is, you know, PT is 3/5 of PQ, and we just found the vector for PQ. All right, so that's OP plus 3/5 of PQ. Okay, OP is what? That's just the plain old U, right? That's a U plus 3/5 of minus U plus 2V. So U plus minus 3/5 U plus 6 out of 5 by V, because it's 3/5 by 2, right? So U minus 3/5 U will give us 2/5 of U plus 6/5 of V. And if you pull out your 2/5, you're going to get U plus 3V. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I feel like you had to get a little time on too. Wait, I had it from YouTube. Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. Yeah, and spam. All right, cool. All right. 8:45. Okay, so I might just hit the 2-hour mark. All right. Write down the 2x2 matrices that represent the following transformations. An enlargement, center 0, 0, scale factor 8, 8, 0. A reflection in the x-axis, 1, 0, 0, minus 1. An enlargement, center 0, 0, scale factor 8, followed by that. Right, so that's 1, 0, 0, minus 1 by 8, 0, 0, 8. So all that'll change here is that the 8 down here will become negative. That's it. So a mark for A and B and 2 marks for C. And across here, right, the matrices R and Q expressed in terms of constants K and C are as follows. AJ Booth, what proof you have of that? Every year they say that, and not every year is be true. I think 2020, it was 2023 it happened, and before that was 2008. So there were 15 years where it did not happen, and every year people say that. So unless you have some evidence, then that's not something you want to start spreading. It just makes people uncomfortable and negatively affects them. Right. Okay. Matrices R and Q expressed in terms of the constants. Okay, so calculate in terms of K and C the matrix product RQ. Okay, cool. So we actually have a kind of matrix multiplication going on here. Well, not kind of, it is, all right? Cn minus 6, all right. So row by column. So I'm going to short circuit this because I'm tired. I need to go home. All right, so it's 6K plus 1C, or just 6K plus C. And then 6 by 1 is 6, and 1 by minus 6 is minus 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. All right, 4K plus 2C. And then 4 minus 12, which is minus 8. All right. You have a screenshot. Interesting. Of what specifically? All right. The matrix RQ represents the transformation of an enlarged member. Okay. Oh, so they're saying that this matrix is equal to the 8, 0, 0 minus 8. Determine the values of K and C. Okay, cool. So we are told that 8, 0, 0 minus 8 is equal to 6K plus C, 0, and 4K plus 2C. Lord have mercy. I'll put this down here, boy. Right, and then minus 8, right? So we can see that the 0 and the minus 8 match up. So it means that 8 has to be equal, right? So 6K plus C is equal to 8, and 4K plus 2C is equal to 0. All right, so simultaneous. So I highly doubt they wanted to use a matrix method for this, but it's in the matrix part of the paper. But for 3 marks, boy, really? Is there an easy way to do this? We could divide this whole equation by 2, right? If we do that, we'll get 2K plus C is equal to 0. And if we put that equation on top, we could subtract like a regular simultaneous. So we get that 4K plus 0 is equal to 8, which means that if 4K is equal to 8, K is equal to 8 over 4, which is 2. Ha! And if K is equal to 2, 6 by 2 plus C is 8. Why is that there? Go away. Go away. All right, cool. So if 12 plus C is equal to 8, it means that 8C had to be equal to minus 4, which is 8 minus 12. So 2 and minus 4. Hard luck with that. One of my students was a work a Cape question for them now. He asked earlier, but I hadn't intended to do this, so I don't know, Lord. If you're online, I do apologize. All right, folks, that's it for me, you know. I go there. You're assuming. Okay, well, I mean, again, unless you can prove that, and it's just right now, it's just causing noise that people don't need to hear. I'm not saying a lie, I'm just saying that right now I don't know what the benefit of saying that is. So let the examining body do what they have to do. All right, folks, thanks for joining me, and thanks for putting up with my sleepiness. Let that be a lesson. Don't play with your sleep. Anyhow, YouTube, I will be doing what way tomorrow? Prep for advanced paper 2. We do some stats tomorrow, and we have a double session, half 4 to half half 4 to half 8 with a break from 6 to half 6. Thursday we have from 9 to half 3 with a couple of 1 hour breaks. We should be doing some trigs then. We might have a break actually no, we might go right till half past 8 to be honest. I'll double check that. Friday, I think we have Fridays again 9 to half 3. Saturday is 10 to 3 with a hour break for lunch. And Sunday is 4 to half 5 with a half hour break at 6 to half past 6. Right, so we aiming to do 2023 on Friday, 2024 on Saturday, and 2025 on Sunday. And yeah, trigs on Thursday. All right, guys. Yeah. I'll go on later. Hold on.